Hi, how are you? Thanks so much for joining me. Today I want to share something with you, some thoughts that I hope will really encourage you and give you a new perspective. Today I want to talk about how things are not always what they seem. So to start, I'm going to share with you an old Chinese parable that maybe some of you are familiar with. It goes like this. There was an old Chinese farmer who had a horse, one horse, and the horse ran away. And his neighbors rushed to him and said, "Oh my goodness, what bad luck. Your one horse ran away. Farming season is coming. What will you do?" And the farmer responded, "Good luck, bad luck. Who can say?" A few days later, not only did the farmer's horse return, but 2 other stallions came with it. So the neighbors ran to the farmer and said, "Oh my goodness, what good luck you have. Not only did your horse return, but you now have 2 more stallions." To which the farmer responded, "Good luck, bad luck. Who can say?" Later that week, the farmer's one son was trying to train the stallions. One of the stallions kicked him off and he broke his leg. As you might imagine, the neighbors ran to him and said, "Oh my goodness, what bad luck. Your one son's leg is now broken. What will you do for farming season?" To which the farmer responded, "Bad luck, good luck. Who can say?" Then, just a few weeks later, the emperor's army came into town recruiting every able-bodied young man to go fight in a war. The only man not enlisted was the farmer's son with his broken leg. To which the neighbors ran to the farmer and said, "Oh my goodness, what good fortune. Your son is the only son who won't have to go to war because of his broken leg." To which the farmer responded, "Good luck, bad luck. Who can say?" So before we move on, let me just say that I don't take this story too literally or get too carried away, but I want to talk about the premise of it. And that is just that literally things are not always what they seem. The truth is, you guys, we are constantly interpreting and analyzing and making judgments about our situation, about our circumstances. Something happens and we say this is good or this is bad. Something happens and we say, "I can't believe this happened. This is the worst thing." Or we pray and pray and pray for something that we think would be the best thing. And the truth is that, we have the ability to discern. We know the difference between good and bad. But also, often in real time, when we're in the middle of our story, it's hard to make sense of what is actually the best for us or the worst for us or whatnot. And so sometimes as participants in our story, it can be really hard to know for sure what is good or what is bad. And today, I just want to speak to all of you who might be going through a hard time or a painful time, and you're thinking, this is bad. This can't be good. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Nothing worse could have happened, whatnot. I've definitely been there. And I just want to speak to you, and I kind of want to give you a little breathing room for those circumstances. Because the truth is, you might not be able to see the whole picture today. When more time passes or, the rest of your story unfolds, you might get a little more clarity. And what today you view as all good or all bad or all pain or all loss might look different. So again, my goal is just to encourage you and to give you a slightly different perspective. So I want to talk about 3 ways we can do this. 3 ways we can give kind of our analysis a little space. The first is found in Romans 8:28. So in Romans 8:28, Paul says that in the end, God works all things for the good of those who love him. And a pastor that I listen to, Kris Vallotton, quotes this a lot, and he says, God says in the end, it's all going to work out for good. So if your story isn't looking good, it's not the end. Just keep going. And I really like that because sometimes the best thing we can do when we're in the middle of a really hard season is to just keep going. The best thing we can do if something happened in your life and you can't make sense of it or it's really painful is to just put one foot in front of the other and keep reminding yourself of truth, that God is working for your good, that this isn't the end. All those things that we say and maybe we don't really believe in those moments, it's really important to just cling to them as we keep moving. So that's the first helpful tip, hopefully. The second tip is to remind ourselves of past instances where we initially judged or analyzed a situation one way, but later our opinion changed. So I know this sounds overly simplistic, but I'm sure you can all relate. I'm sure some examples are coming to mind. Some that came to my mind immediately are jobs that I didn't get. Maybe you applied for a job or your husband applied for a job, they didn't get it. You're thinking, oh, we were counting on this, we really wanted this, we thought this would have been a great fit. And then later, as more time passes, maybe you hear the company or the position really wouldn't have been a great fit. Or you get a different job that is a much better fit than you could have even imagined with that first one. Another example might be you're in a relationship and it ends, you're heartbroken, and you think, this is the worst thing that could happen. And then later you meet your spouse or you meet your current significant other and you realize that that other person wasn't the right person for you or the best person for you. And the alternative of this is also true. At times something happens and we think it's the best thing that could happen. And then later as time passes, we think, oh, maybe this isn't really what I wanted. I know I'm definitely guilty of that. I have prayed and begged God to give me certain things. And then he has, and I'm like, oops, this really isn't what I wanted. I think you knew better. So it's just kind of a practice in both. The whole point of that tip of just reminding yourself of past instances where your one analysis or thoughts changed is just to kind of inject a little hope into your current situation. If right now you're staring at something and you're thinking, this is horrible, this can't be good, this could never get better, it's just to remind yourself, your opinion has changed in the past. And at one point, the information you have today, you're coming to the best conclusion you can come to, but you're going to get more information and new information as time goes on. And so it's true that your opinion could change. My third helpful tip for today with this whole just embracing that things are not always what they seem is simply to ask God for grace to loosen your grip on your perspective and to just really come to him and cling to him instead. So I am preaching to myself because when I think something is like when I'm thinking this is true or this is right, it's really hard for me to see alternative perspectives in that moment. But as we've discussed, often our perspective changes. And so I think the more that I can lean into God and say, I don't understand. Be honest, always be honest with God. I don't understand, or I don't want this, or I don't like this, or this hurts. Say it all and then say, God, give me the grace to loosen my perspective, loosen my grip on the way I'm interpreting this, and help me just to cling to you instead. One really helpful practice that I've adopted in my own life with that is to just kind of say okay, I'm going to let this question or this situation kind of hang in the balance while I seek you, while I keep moving forward, while I keep knowing what to do and, what's helpful for me to keep doing, that I keep, marching forward in life. But I'm just going to kind of put a big question mark over this area until you bring more clarity to it. Because ultimately, only he can bring clarity to all these things that we're talking about anyway. So that's it for today. I just really want you to feel the possibility that even if you're staring at something that is really hard or sad or not what you think you want, there's a chance that the end of your story is different and is good. And that even the thing today that looks only like loss or pain, you will in the future view differently. So I encourage you to really lean into those 3 helpful tips on how to kind of practice this in your own life. Remind yourself that if it's not good, it's not the end. You got to just keep going sometimes. Remind yourself of past experiences where you interpreted things one way and then your opinion changed. And ask God for grace to let some things hang out between you two that are unresolved while you keep moving forward, both in your life and in your relationship with him. I hope you have a great day. I hope that this blessed you, and I will talk to you soon. If this was helpful, please like, share, subscribe, share with any of your friends, and leave any questions or comments if you're interested. I hope you have a great day.